Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Knockin' Knots. Bang, 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 bang. Except there's no Tyler. It's just me, Kyle. That's it. Tyler has no care for hockey whatsoever. So I thought, want to have a different series on this channel, and we're going to do some NHL franchise mode. If you guys want to see anything else in NHL, just let me know, and I will be gladly obliged, and I'll make some NHL videos. But so I'm thinking we start. If you haven't heard the news, Peter Chiarelli was fired from Edmonton about a week ago, so I feel I will take the reins in Edmonton. I've got some plans, but of course I want to hear your guys' opinion. Just a little bit of background. So from what I do as a GM is I like playing the waiting game in these games. If this team wants to take a couple years, like 2-3 years to be a contender, because as you see right now they're listed as a rebuilding team. By all means, I'm waiting to wait. Except just that we know that he right here, Connor McDavid's locked up 8 years, but for $12 million, that is a problem. But I'm wanting to make this team a contender, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to change on this team to make them a contender. As for the series, though, I've seen other YouTubers do it. I will probably add up stuff such as clip or fan, like we'll call it fan art, but I'll make custom stuff on Photoshop and whatnot. I'll make headlines. I'll make trade stuff for everything. I can make another Instagram page for it. But moving forward, as well, I will incorporate. I'll do some gameplay as well. So if we're playing example, if we take a look at the schedule we have here, home opener would be against Boston on the 18th. I would play a Boston game because that is the home opener for this team, and it's always different. Great to see new faces on the team. Or another example would be I only would be against Calgary because big rival, Battle of Alberta. I only play the home games though because I weird like that. I like the goal horns in this game. So yeah, I'll do that. So it could be rivalries. It'll be if we are sitting just a few spots out of a playoff spot. Um, Come middle of March, I will definitely play one of those games or near the end. If we make a big trade at trade deadline or in the season at all, I might play the next home game after if it's a big star, like we get any elite player. But if it's like a minor league trade, unless it's a blow my socks out of the water kind of deal, then I won't really play those. I'll play more if we get like a bigger star on the team. So yeah, you guys let me know how about the art in the game, the gameplay, and of course I want you guys to incorporate as much as you can into this. So I have ideas, but I want to hear your guys' ideas. So if we're looking at this roster going forward for this team, if we go to trade value, have of course McDavid's number one, Draisaitl being number two. I want to circle right here Jesse Puljujarvi. He's got potential, guys, but I think he could be trade bait come a year or two. And his contract's almost up, so we may have to sign him in the middle of the season. But this team does not have much, and Jesse Puljujarvi, I think, could be one of those. I will get into that when it comes to drafting in the first year because I have a plan for him, but I want to see how the first year would pan out. Another person I would love to get rid of the contract would be Adam Larson. He hasn't produced much. Of course, he was given up for Taylor Hall straight up. Thanks, Shirley. You need to get a better top defenseman than Adam Larson. If he stays top four, that's fine, but we have to get an upgrade on that one. The big one, obviously, that everybody knows would be down here, the left wing, Milan Lucic, $6 million for 5 more years. We have to get rid of that contract. That is going to hinder us for a while. And considering our top two stars, McDavid and Draisaitl combined, are about $21 million just alone. So yeah, those two are going to be deemed untouchable. Unless a team were to offer me something completely crazy for Draisaitl, if he would start to struggle or something, I'd consider it. But right now, just these, we're going to go with McDavid, Draisaitl, and possibly Clefbaum being untouchable. When it comes to goaltending situation, with the roster right now, it's not. Yeah, so it's not including Koskinen's extensions, so we're lucky there. We're not going to have a bad contract there. But we've got to take a look here at Cam Talbot. He is 31, starting goaltender, but he is still elite. But he's 31, 82, and he's got 1 year left on his deal. We need to upgrade goaltending, there is no goaltending prospect stands out here. And if one thing that's always bothered Edmonton is getting a goaltender. Um, that's pretty much it when it comes to the roster. You guys let me know if you have any other ideas. Taylor Yamamoto, I'm hoping grows too. If not, he's another one that I have no problem trading in a couple of years. If he is not cracked the NHL roster by the age of 22, 23, we're going to have to consider trading him and trying to get at least a draft pick or something out of him. I think that is it for when it comes to our value and our trades that we can make to make this team a bit better. As for free agents starting into the year, I mean, we talked about defense. The best one they got is Seidenberg. I don't think there's many we're going to get out of here. For forwards, we can get a Camilleri to go the top 6 because I know, or the top 9 because I know the top 9 is not the greatest in Edmonton. Camilleri would probably be the only one I want to get because there is nothing that really stands out to me. Maybe bring Alashemsky back to Edmonton, Edmonton's glory days. For goaltending, Kari Lehtinen as a backup, maybe Steve Mason. I'd prefer to go with Mason just because he's younger and he's cheaper. But we do have Koskinen still and Talbot, so we wouldn't have to worry too much if Koskinen does not live up to standards throughout this year. Getting a guy like Steve Mason, who's had a decent career, I will go with decent on that one. He's had a decent career. Yeah, it'd be great to have as a backup at 80 overall, only at 30, with a couple more years left in him. Go to the lineup going into opening night and the preseason. So we have the Nuge, McDavid, and Lucic. Obviously, if you look at our right wingers, the first line's not even a real right winger; it's a left winger. Jesse Puljujarvi is technically a right winger, but there's no point in putting him, and he's depth forward. So if anything, I'd rather put him down on the 4th line than having him up on the 2nd line. There's no point, in my opinion, if you want him to grow. Ty Ratty, I've seen him grow to 82 once, guys. Or not 82, 92 in games past. I don't know. At 25, you're not going to grow as much. Draisaitl, obviously, like we said, and Puljujarvi. Kajula, I know he doesn't play for Edmonton anymore. He plays for Chicago, but this is the roster beforehand, so we're going to have to make do. If not, we could try and make the trade to get, I believe it was Brandon Manning over in Edmonton. We have Ryan Spooner, who is not on waivers yet in this game. I'd like to try and grow him a bit more, even though he's at 26, so he's pretty much done growing. Tobias Reeder, correct me if I'm wrong. He's got 1 year left. And then the 4th line, Cassie, Kihari, and Chiasson. Chiasson's tearing it up, obviously, right now, but I don't expect in NHL for him to do much. As for defense, we have Clefbaum and Larson. That would be a great 2nd line in my opinion. We have Sekera and Nurse, a great 2nd line right there. Sekera would be another contract. He's 32, 3 years left at 5.5. We'd be good to try and maybe test the market with him. And we have Chris Weidman from Ottawa. As you know, he's not on Edmonton. He's in Florida. Like I said, wrong rosters. And we have Matt Benning. I would love to move it to a left-right, but both of these, there's no point. Maybe like a Sekera down here, and then there, and Benning over there for Nurse. We could try that. We'll try that going into the season, and we'll see if that doesn't work. Then obviously we could change that around. And in goaltending, Talbot and Koskinen for special teams. Draisaitl, McDavid, Nuge. I really don't want to touch that. I like, in my personal opinion, I like having the left-handers on the right side, and the right. He's not a right-hander. It's awkward. They are all left-handers except Ty Ratty. So we're going to go with that for now, but I like you're two-way. We're going to try moving that around. So we're going to have Draisaitl on the right, Nuge on there. On the left, McDavid at center, Clefbaum and Sekera. I'd rather have Sekera play a 2nd. Then Nurse, we'll get Nurse some time up there. Lucic, Spooner, Ratty. There's not much there. Maybe take Ty Ratty off. No, we're gonna try and take Lucic off first. Maybe we'll give Pugliarvi some time on the power play. Um, yeah, we're gonna put the stronger. I prefer to put the stronger ones. So we're gonna try and get Pugliarvi to grow a bit and get some power play time. Four-man: McDavid, Draisaitl, Spooner, Nuge. We'll try that. We'll try it. Once again, if Spooner does not live up to expectations, we're going to make some changes, obviously. Penalty kill, Draisaitl, Kajula, Ryder, Kahari. That's fine. And Draisaitl, Kahari as the 3-on-3. That is quite okay. Defense is fine. As you expect, McDavid, Draisaitl, Lucic, McNuge, Kajula, Spooner. We're going to change Lucic, and we're going to give Pugliarvi some time. Once again, trying to get him to grow as much as possible. And Spooner, Kajula, which is fine. Extra attacker would be McDavid, Draisaitl, obviously, and the power play and the shootout. Don't want to have a defenseman in there. We have McDavid, Nuge. Let's go with Ty Ratty. Ty Ratty in there. And then scratch players, we have Garrison, Zykov, and Gravel. Moving into our prospect pool and our AHL team down in Bakersfield. Not a lot here. We have Brodziak we could probably call up if we need it, if we have an injury. Kaylor Yamamoto, like I said, we're trying to try and grow him. He'll be down here for a couple years to go now. And the rest of the team, we need to get some more prospects in on this team because there's not much on defense. Chris Russell, he has a terrible contract, 4 years at $3 million. We're going to try and get rid of him, but he's hard to get rid of. Ethan Bear, we're going to try and grow. He's only 21. Another one would be Caleb Jones. He's playing right now in the NHL, but in here, he's listed as minor top 6 right now. Once again, grow. He's only 21. He's about my age. Not a lot down here to show. Al Montoya, we have another backup option right there of Koskinen, but he only has 1 year left. And looking at scratch, we don't have much to offer for prospects. Moving, also what we're gonna do, I like having morale on. It makes a different as we see. Oh, sorry, that's not NHL. NHL obviously it adds different chemistry and all that. I've noticed last year in NHL 18, I forget the team I was playing with, but we were looking for a top 6. I was going into trades and I found TJ Oshie only a year in, and his morale was dropped. He was down to a 77 overall, but still listed as a top 6, and his trade value was nothing. So of course I traded for him. He came to whatever team I was playing for, and he ended up throwing right away, gelled in right away, and became back up to an 86, I believe. I've also noticed that if a player were to ask for a trade, I will obviously try and make that work because they clearly are not part of our future if they don't want to be here, and we would deal with it. But I have also seen where I had this year with an expansion franchise, I brought Braden Shannon. He was my franchise player around a bunch of guys who probably would not have made my team for most of them. He demanded a trade 1 year in, and I said, give me 1 more year, and I promise. We ended up winning 3 cups in 5 years with him as our frontline center and our captain of the team. So, of course, I don't expect much, of course, for requesting trades. Of course, if we were to start losing and we went with only like 12 wins, like the Ottawa Senators did in their inaugural season, of course, probably McDavid would be like, okay, well, let's see, I need a trade, I need a new batch of scenery. We're gonna try and make that accommodating as well. We're gonna say, listen, trust us, we have a plan in place, and we will become a playoff contender within a year or 2. Trade block. For us, we have Montoya a second and a second. No, we're going to go big on this one, like I said. So obviously the first one, we're trying to get rid of Lucic. I am going to put Larson on the trading block. 25 and you're 83. He will be a top 4 for years to come, but he's still, that is something still worth some teams would try and acquire and call us for. As for our last one, I am going to put Cam Talbot on. And if a team were to pick him up as well, if we were not in the playoffs come trade deadline, I would try and deal him so we can get something back.
For what we want, I would like every. This is me personally. I like having any pick come back towards me. Any pick can be anything. We've all seen that with guys like Daniel Alfredson, Pavel Datsyuk, Henrik Zetterberg. Anything could happen when it comes to draft rounds. So starting goaltender, top six, third line checking forward. I'm going to change that to a second line because we need more of a second line premises. I'm not too sure on that whole potential. If you guys know how to work that, let me know and I will change those. But so yeah, what we're going to look. We're going to look for a second line forward, top four defenseman, and a starting goaltender. And one more thing before we close up the video, we're going to look into the draft class for this year. I have one plan, so I will tell you guys right now. Like I said, I Jack Hughes being number one. That's obviously everybody's go-to. Let's get a franchise player. We already have that in McDavid. So my plan would be is if we're not a playoff team, if we're still rebuilding, quote unquote, to try and get a high pick, preferably not first. If we were to get first overall, then I'd probably consider taking my guy. If not, I would want to move down to get him. But I think would be perfect would be Capo Kakko. He just helped Finland, win the juniors this year. But to have him grow, be a first line player, we're gonna scout him already. Be a first line player with McDavid. That'd be a great 1-2 for multiple years to come. We will be scouting a lot, and I'm hoping to get a lot of picks coming because, like I said, we don't have a lot of prospects. So hopefully this year, if we do not make the playoffs, we have 2 first-round picks, I'm hoping, and we could pick up a defenseman as well. Scouting system I'm kind of familiar with now, so we are going to do a lot of scouting to try and get these guys. Maybe we'll take a look at this, scouts and regions. So we're going to have to get someone on this Devin Barnett guy. There's another guy possibly. If a left wing or a right wing, I don't mind whatsoever. Stanislav Chernikov, he's already being scouted. Okay, I want a wing. Essentially, what I want is a winger for McDavid. Bowen Byram, I've seen him grow to a 91. Be great for the defense. Philip Broberg is another one we're going to target. Essentially, any defenseman in this first round and some wingers I want to consider for this team moving forward. We'll go up to the 19th because I know the team that will not perform 100 right away, which I know I shouldn't be saying that, but they will not perform right away. So we're going to have to get another scout right now. We'll get that right now so we can get the East being scouted. So yeah, that's kind of where I stand with this series, guys. I'm looking forward to bringing the series to you guys and having a fun time while doing this. If you guys have any input in it, if I'm 100% able, I'm not 100% able, I'm 100% going to listen to you guys and work with it on that. So yeah, that's where I stand. If you guys have any like the fan art idea or anything, you guys can send it to us as well. Preferably, we have an Instagram page, so if you were to send it to our Instagram page, we will gladly accept it. If not, it'd be canuckinnuts@gmail.com. I'll take that and I will put them into the video. Besides that, I think that it will wrap up this first intro pilot video for the Edmonton Oilers series. So, yeah, you guys let me know what you think. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our videos. We'll be giving out a lot more this year, and we are hoping to build this channel a lot more. And we're gonna, with adding series like these, I think we will be able to make a great channel. For one more thing, though, upcoming contracts that we need to deal with for next year would be Weidman, Chiasson, Gravel, Garrison, Kihari, Ryder, Puliarvi, Ratty, Zykov. That'd be it. What would Puliarvi want? Okay, so that was what we hope he can develop into by year's end, a $4 million guy. So that's what we're going to hope for, guys. $4 million for him if he can develop into one. But like I said, this is the end of the first video of the Edmonton Oilers franchise series. Make sure you like and subscribe to our videos, and I will have the episode 2 coming up sometime this week with gameplay, as we will play the home opener against Boston, and expect possibly maybe a trade, as I'll do some scouting along the way. So you have a great night, everybody, and take care.